Hey, what is up, fellow dads? My name is Brett, and I am here to hopefully provide some help for dealing with those toddler temper tantrums that can feel like nuclear meltdowns. I'll be giving you 5 tips to deal with these temper tantrums that you can add to your arsenal when bedtime is becoming difficult, dinner time has become a nightmare, shopping at the supermarket has become absolutely unbearable. And let me just say that tip number 5 has been an absolute lifesaver for me and my wife, so stick around to the end to watch that one. It has seriously changed the dynamic of how I deal with my son when he's having those meltdowns or temper tantrums. It's a really, really good tip. Now, I am going to note that I have a son and he's almost 3, so my approach to dealing with him and his emotions and the things that he's dealing with are going to be slightly different than if you have a daughter, obviously. Now, if you do have a daughter or another kid who is a different age and you've got some different tips than what I'm going to share with you today, definitely share those in the comments down below. I would love to read them, and I'm sure any other dads who are watching this would also love to have some extra tips and tricks in their tool belt for dealing with toddler temper tantrums. Toddler temper tantrum, toddler temper tantrum, toddler temper tantrums. With that out of the way, let's get started. Tip number 1, the laugh intervention. One thing that my wife and I love to do with our son is we like to get him laughing or giggling before he gets upset by something. If we notice that he's gonna get upset, we try to make him laugh before he gets upset. Now, you are gonna be the best judge of this. There are gonna be signs that your kids have before they throw tantrums that you'll be able to identify better as a parent. But when you do notice those things happening, try to make them laugh. Do something that you know, like 9 times out of 10 is gonna get them giggling, gonna get them in a happy, fun mood. So for us, it's poking our son in the belly button or making a stuffed animal attack him. Just something fun that is gonna take his mind off of that thing momentarily that's upsetting him and bring him into a happier mood. The key really is making them laugh before they explode. Tip number 2 is taking a breath. This is a tip that my wife actually uses for our son all of the time, and it's extremely helpful to refocus him, bring him down a notch, get him to just, chill out for a second. It's a really, really helpful tip. Turns the intensity level down from like a 10 or an 11 down to like a 1 or a 2. If our son is scream crying, we'll stop, we'll drop everything. We'll say, hey, listen, man, let's just take a couple deep breaths. Do it with mommy, do it with daddy. We're gonna go like this. We ask him to do it with us. We see if he's enjoying it, if he is actually stopping to breathe, or if he's getting more hysterical. But usually within a minute or 2, just a couple rounds of deep breathing with him, he's calmed down, he isn't as upset. We're able to talk to him, console him, figure out what's going on. And as an added little bonus, as a parent, it helps you decompress for a couple of minutes. It's really, really helpful, really useful for you to not lose your mind or go crazy. Just take a couple deep breaths, and you're back in it. You're able to deal with whatever's going on. Tip number 3, give them options. Now, if you're having a difficult time with dinner time, bath time, getting them dressed in the morning, really just a difficult time in general for getting your kid to do the things that you need them to do, try giving them options. The options, they don't need to be crazy. They can be really simple things like, do you want to wear the red or blue shirt today? Do you want cereal or eggs for breakfast? But giving your toddler options and letting them actually pick things that have an impact on their life is going to really help them feel like they're in control, like they're able to be kind of autonomous on their own, make decisions that they actually want, as opposed to you just forcing all of the decisions onto them. Something like this will absolutely help with those daily routines that you need to do to get them to daycare or get them to grandma and grandpa's or whatever, get them out the door or to the park or to the activity that you're going to. Giving them the options is just going to make them excited to do those things and feel like they have a voice. Also, do not give them open-ended options. Toddlers don't actually know what they want. So if you just ask them, what do they want to do today? Or what do they want to eat? You're just going to get an abundance of anything and everything. They're going to say they want anything. And just give them option A or B. It's going to be a lot easier for you because you can give them 2 doable options and you don't have to utilize any of the other 4 tips to bring them down from a temper tantrum when you said, hey, we can't go to Disneyland for lunch today. Tip number 4 is timeouts. Now, timeouts, they're difficult, especially for new parents, because it can definitely feel like it's making the situation worse. And sometimes it is, because I don't personally think timeouts are the optimal solution in a lot of situations, but sometimes they are. And my wife and I have used timeouts to varying degrees of success with a few different methods. Now, the first and most important thing in my opinion is to give a timeout proportional to your toddler's age. So for example, if you have a 2-year-old who you want to give a timeout to, it's a 2-minute timeout. If you have a 4-year-old, it's a 4-minute timeout. So use years to minutes, and that's going to make sure that you're not over punishing or under punishing your kid. For somebody who is 2 years old, 2 minutes is going to feel like an eternity to them. It's going to give them some time to cool off. It's going to help them out. And it's going to make sure that you also don't forget about them, because that has happened before. Not necessarily to me and my wife. We've never forgotten about our kid on a timeout, but I've heard of other people doing it. They send the kid to the room and they're like, wow, it's been really quiet for 4 hours. I wonder what they're doing. And their kid is sleeping. Maybe not the worst thing in the world, but I wouldn't recommend it. A couple of other things that I would like to note for the timeouts that my wife and I have found to be more successful than not doing these things is don't just plop your kid on the couch or in their room. Like I said, put them somewhere that you can be with them. So if they have to sit on a couch or the carpet or wherever, get rid of the distractions. Don't just scroll on your phone or watch TV. Turn everything off. Put the distractions for yourself and your toddler away and sit with them for that timeout. Now, I don't know if it's better or worse to like sit and hold them, or if it's better or worse to like have them sit on a chair opposite of you or sit on the opposite end of the carpet. I'm really not sure what the best approach is going to be for your kid, but for us, it is best if we sit our son on the couch, we sit on the chair across, and we just sit there for the 2 minutes and we let him think about what happened. And at the end of it, you can actually have that conversation. Say, hey, you understand why we did that? Do you feel sorry for what you did? Are you going to apologize? Or, just talk about what happened, why it happened. And it gives you a chance to also, again, unwind. A lot of toddler tantrums, it's the parents needing to unwind. It's not necessarily the kids. The kids are going to throw tantrums anyways, but you as a parent need to rationally and calmly take care of the situation. And so putting yourself on a timeout will also help you cool down and hopefully address the situation properly. All right, before we get into tip number 5, which again is my personal favorite, it's been extremely helpful to me and my wife in approaching our son's tantrums. I just want to say, if you've enjoyed the video, if you learned anything new, drop a like, hit a subscribe. I'd appreciate that very much. Help the channel grow. Thank you. My goal really for this channel is to just help dads be better. Take the things I've learned with my son and share that information with you. And I'm hoping that we can build a community where all of us as fathers become better fathers by sharing what we know works, what doesn't work, stuff like that. So I'd appreciate you becoming a part of that community. All right, tip number 5, get on their level. This tip has been incredibly helpful for me as a father. It really helps me connect with my son when he's having a difficult time. It helps me kind of see things from his perspective, oddly enough. It's really, really great to have this in your back pocket, and I do it all the time. Getting on their level simply means taking a knee, sitting down beside your toddler so that your eye level is matching with their eye level. And it really helps me to take a moment, again, for the parent, disconnect from the situation, say, listen, I need to understand what they're going through, get on their level, connect with them, and it really helps my son feel like he's an equal in the situation. The power dynamic between a parent and a toddler, the height, the distance between them, in my opinion, it creates a lot of tension, can sometimes create a lot of fear for kids because they might not understand what they did wrong, or maybe they know they did something wrong, but because you're towering over them, maybe you've had to raise your voice or something like that. It can be, a scary situation for a kid, but when you get on their level and connect with them, it can feel very collaborative for the kid to come to a solution, come to a resolution to the problem. So again, this is my favorite tip. I've been doing this ever since I heard about it, and it helps in so many situations. Like I said, I'm not kidding when I say this rule has changed how I interact with my son, both in public settings and in private at home. When I notice that he's getting upset, or when he is upset because we can't do something, or he can't have the toy, or we have to go somewhere, it is really incredible how quickly his tune changes. When I take a knee, I get beside him, I say, hey man, what's up? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And I'm not kidding. The situations that I can get out of because I just get on his level as opposed to standing over him, which I used to do before. I used to be the parent who was like, come on, what are you doing? Like, get up, let's go. We're gonna do the thing, stop crying. I just ask him, hey, what's up? What's going on? How can I help? You and me are here. Let's find a solution to this. It is also way less embarrassing with a public meltdown when you get on your knee and people see you like stop in public and like have a conversation with your kid. It is way better than people dragging their screaming toddler or like running through public being like, come on, we're leaving, get over, we're going, stop yelling and screaming, you get in the car. Like, I don't like seeing that. I don't like doing that. And so this is a much more nuanced and subtle and professional, I guess, way of dealing with these meltdowns. But for me, again, lifesaver. I really enjoy doing this both in public and in private. And that's it. 5 tips to help you keep your cool as a dad when dealing with these toddler temper tantrums. If you know a dad who might benefit from these tips, share the video with him. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. We all need a little bit of help as fathers, so we might as well take what we can get. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you dads next time. Peace.